What they should do is stop wasting time on Yamamoto. He's not coming. Get Bellinger, okay? Get yourself Chapman. Get yourself J.D. Martinez and sign Blake Snell. And start next season. I even have a lineup for you. I'm in that kind of mood. You guys need that much help. Nimmo 1, Lindor 2, Bellinger, Pete, Chapman, Martinez, and Alvarez.
You don't like the trade that the Mets made yesterday?
Well, I mean, I understand it's for depth purposes, and I understand that there's a place for that in the game, but, geez, can you do something that's going to impact the record?
Yeah, I think they are doing it. I mean, they're making...
Like the minor league record?
No depth.
Wait, these guys are playing for the Mets?
Depth, old. Yeah, these guys that they got yesterday, Hauser's probably going to be in the starting rotation, maybe the fifth guy, but he's a veteran starter. Even Tyrone Taylor going to be a backup outfielder. What they're doing is building a solid foundation because inevitably when things go wrong, and they always do, whether it's the Mets, whether it's the Yankees, teams get hit by injuries. The weakness that the Mets have had in the past has been they have zero depth. You go down to the farm, there's nothing there. What David Stearns is doing is being smart. He's being responsible. They're also waiting for the big fish to go get, like Yamamoto. That's the move you should make. Go all in and get the top guys. Soto when he's available next year when the big stars are there. Right now, they're building a foundation. It's easy to poke fun at, easy to say, oh, look at this guy or that guy or scrub, and I never heard of these players. And I'd be lying if I said I heard of these guys before either.
Yep.
But they're smart moves. That is how you build a winning team. David Stern building a bullpen, getting guys off the scrap heap, guys that maybe have a 4 ERA that you look at on paper and you say, this guy stinks. But when the Mets get him in their system, they need to make him better. And then all of a sudden they have a good bullpen and you say, where'd they get these guys? Well, these are the guys that nobody knew of when they were signing them in the offseason. The Mets and David Stearns are doing the smart thing right now. Forget the splashy moves. Build a foundation, build a solid team.
I'd be disgusted if I'm a Mets fan. I honestly would be disgusted. I'd be disgusted because my team stunk last year, and I've done nothing of substance so far, number one. Number two, I'm getting played by Yamamoto. And, you know, anytime you talk about the Mets, invariably you've got to weave in what the Yanks are doing. And what the Yankees have done, unlike the Mets, is address weaknesses.
Which is what exactly?
Bring in the best lefty in the game and an outfielder who's going to be the best left fielder they've had in a decade.
Well,
so,
that says more about their outfield than Verdugo. I mean,
well,
let's not make it like
would you like your left fielder to hit 281 with a little pop and a great left fielder? Would you take that?
He's okay.
He's 281.
Look at the rest of the lineup. The Yankees, all the Yankees did was go all in, which I respect. They went all in for a rental player. The Yankees are trying to do this the wrong way. Sexy, splashy, yes. That is not how you build a team. They still have Giancarlo Stanton, who can't run the bases. They still have DJ LeMahieu, who's always hurt. They still have Gleyber Torres, who has his head up his rear end half the season. They still have Carlos Rodon, who stinks. Yankees still have issues, whether it's the bullpen, whether it's the starting rotation now, the depth behind Garrett Cole. There's a lot of work to be done with the Yankees, and where's their depth? I mean, the Mets are doing this the right way. Yankees getting the early headlines. Mets are building a solid team.
You know what I don't understand, and I legitimately am asking the question, why can't the Mets do both? Like, why
they will.
can't? Well, when? Everybody's going to be gone.
They're going to have the highest offer on Yamamoto.
But here's the problem, and I mean this, here's the problem with the Mets' approach right now. And again, Sal, I hear you on the depth. I get that. You know, Cashman's done that for you. Michael King. Think about where he got it. Like, you've got to find these guys that are cheap and salvageable. And then you're like, wow, what a move. Understood. And I'm sure a few of these will pay off. But the whole thing about Cohen was that they were going to spend and they were going to get the players. Why can't you do these trades and also get Bellinger and also get Chapman? Right now, I think the Mets have the absolute worst third base situation in baseball.
Well, the worst. But they lost their guy in an injury.
But they didn't even know if he was going to be the guy. And they were hoping. They didn't know. Yeah. And the Mets still don't have a DH. So while the Mets mess around and fool themselves thinking that Yamamoto's going to come, they are not even developing lines of conversation with these free agents that can help them, I don't know, Sal, in 2024. And I know that I'm going to be sitting next to a guy, because I'd be the same way, who's going to be pissed, who's going to be yelling, who's going to be screaming, who's going to be sweating when you are 11-18 and the season's going nowhere.
Yeah, but I view them differently. I actually think they're going to be a playoff team regardless.
Based on what?
First of all, based on the fact that a lot of teams could get into the postseason. You saw the Diamondbacks at 84 wins get in. I think the Mets have a decent roster.
Decent?
They do. They do.
Their lineup was atrocious. And they've done nothing to fix it.
They will add a DH.
When?
Their lineup was not atrocious.
It stunk.
How was the Yankee lineup?
Forget about the Yanks for a second.
Well, no, but it's not. You can't just throw out there, the Mets lineup was atrocious.
But it was.
No, it wasn't.
You haven't had a DH in years.
Oh, they're going to get a DH.
Who?
Jorge Soler, whoever. They'll figure one out.
You better not miss on him.
Well,
Yankees want him to. You got to get somebody. This Yamamoto pipe dream is a joke.
Who's going to have the highest offer for Yamamoto? Just answer the question.
Cohen will.
Okay.
Are you going to get him?
I believe they are.
You're not going to get him.
And if they don't, they're going to get another pitcher. Maybe not the high-end guy. They're going to, you make it like the Mets aren't doing anything.
They're not.
They're building a team right before your very eyes. You just can't see
They're getting C-level players, dude.
Who are going to have to contribute over the course of 162.
Yes, because the other players they have aren't enough. You don't have enough A players.
Right. How many games did Aaron Judge play last year?
What's that?
How many games did Aaron Judge play last year?
I don't know why you always bring it back to the Yankees.
Because you look at it on paper and say, Judge, Soto, Stearns,
pretty good.
LeMahieu. Yeah, and all those guys, maybe not Soto, all the other guys will be hurt and miss time. So then where are the depth pieces that are coming up? Bowers, all these scrubs that we had to see with the Yankees last year.
Wells is going to play a lot this year.
Yeah.
Peraza is going to play a lot this year.
Okay.
Dominguez is going to play every day when he comes back. Verdugo is going to play every day.
Okay, how are those guys? You need depth throughout the course.
I understand that.
The Mets are battling from behind as it is. Stearns right now is building a foundation. They need more on top of it, obviously.
Okay.
They will get it. They're trying for Yamamoto. Once that business is taken care of, whether he signs with them or goes elsewhere, they'll get a DH.
Then they'll call everybody. And those people that they call.
You make it like Nimmo, Lindor, and Alonso or Scrubs and McNeil. The guy won a batting title.
No, those guys are good. I got no problem with that.
Well, how many guys do you need in the lineup?
You need more than the three that you just mentioned because that's all you had last year.
I gave you 4. Marte coming back healthy is 5.
Marte, please. Ben Hurts come on.
That was an all-star.
Oh, he's an all-star. At least done physically, dude. He's been hurt. Come on.
He's played more games than Aaron Judge the last 2 years, I'd bet.
I would probably take that bet. I'd take it with a little trepidation. I'm not exactly sure, but I might have to take that bet. Hey, bottom line is we both got problems, but the difference is the Yankees are acting on them.
But
the Mets are signing nobodies. But how do you like this?
They're building the team the right way. Think about it. You say the Mets have nobody.
Yep.
Alonso, McNeil, Lindor, Alvarez, Nimmo, Marte. That's nobody? What, they have 2 holes right now that they got to fill? 3 holes? DH, left field, third base. And their third baseman just got hurt for the year. What do you want them to do? They'll figure it out.
Yeah, but you don't even know if he was going to be the third. You were hoping. You don't even know if he could field.
You're referencing Peraza and Carrera.
I know Peraza could at least field.
Oh, okay.
That I know.
And Mauricio could hit and run.
So, Sal, you just gave me basically 60% of a lineup, right? And I got you. All right.
It's good enough to make. I'm not saying World Series.
I know you're not.
It's good enough to make the postseason.
I disagree, but I think that the lineup that I gave you would be a playoff team. Nimmo, Lindor, Bellinger, Pete, Chapman, J.D. Martinez, Alvarez to start. And you can do it.
They can still get J.D. Martinez.
If the almighty King Cohen was ready to flex like you've been telling us for a year, go out and call these guys.
But the difference is
You need them.
I don't want the B or C players. J.D. Martinez, whatever. The DH I'm fine with for a year. Cody Bellinger, long-term commitment. I don't really love Chapman. I'd rather trade for Bregman from the Astros if I'm going to go get a third baseman. But they're not going to do that at this particular point. And they got guys that are waiting in the wings. Just like the Yankees were with Volpe years ago. Why they didn't go out and get Corey Seager or get one of the top shortstops or Simeon.
Yep.
Or, there's endless guys out there. And the Yankees went with IKF, which was comical because of Volpe. And then you see it play out 2 years later. And it's like, hey, look, see what they were doing? Well, that's where the Mets are at right now. Can they build a World Series winning team? I mean, I still think anything's possible the way baseball is right now. I don't look at them as a World Series winning team, but building this team the way that they are with the depth, it is smart, and you have to trust David Stearns. And also, it's not like they're not trying to spend. They're trying to get Yamamoto, and I guarantee they will have the highest offer for him. May not get him, but they'll have the highest offer for him.
877-337-6666. BT and Sal here on the Fan inside of our Town Fair Tire studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get They guarantee lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. The one thing, before we get these calls, interesting. I think it's so uninspiring. I'd be frustrated. I'd be a lunatic if I was a Mets fan. You see it differently, fine. You just said you got to trust David Stearns. Why? What does he want?
I mean, he built a consistent winner
what?
in Milwaukee, a team that was in the postseason every year.
Did they ever win anything?
Like
Did they
what?
ever come close to winning anything?
You mean like a World Series?
Yeah.
Okay.
The objective.
When was the last time the Yankees won a World
why
Series?
you and the Yankees? It's insane.
Because you're making it like you. Well, then who do you trust? Only Chris Young in Texas because they just won a World Series?
No, but I don't. So maybe let me reposition. Blind faith in Stearns or faith?
Faith. I don't think it's blind faith. The guy got the job for a reason. You like him too.
Well,
it was by all measurements, by all accounts, David Stearns was the perfect hire.
I know.
Let him cook.
You know, I got you. But other guys, Mets and Yankees and other teams have gotten the job for a reason and fell on their face. And no guarantee. I understand that Stearns is plotting this out the way he would, I think, with a smaller market team. My problem is, and there's merit to that. I'm not saying it's completely the wrong move, because you need depth. Your organization's in shambles.
Exactly.
Go and get some players while you're building up the depth. Spend.
They're building the foundation.
The foundation
while
to
trying to spend. See, I just don't think they value Cody Bellinger the way that you do. Bellinger's going to get over $200 million. You going to commit to him?
Yes.
And then he could be a bust.
I don't think so. He's 27. He hit bombs. He runs. He can play first
Let
and
me
center.
ask you this. If
I wanted him on the Yankees.
If you could either, but not more than Soto.
No,
okay.
Because Soto's one of the best players in the game.
Right. So if you had an opportunity to either get Cody Bellinger now for $200 million plus, or potentially get Juan Soto next year for $400 or $500 million, which one were you doing?
Well, I would do both. If King Cohen's the almighty king that you keep proclaiming. Well, I thought King Cohen could do anything.
Well, you also have to build out a team. You're not going to spend $700 million in two players.
Why not? It's King Cohen.
Not those guys.
Why not? It's King Cohen.
Yeah, well, what do you want to have, $1 billion payroll?
Why not? It's King Cohen.
Yeah.
He can do anything.
Then why can't the Yankees go get Bellinger?
He's going to build stadiums. He's gonna build up Queens. He can do everything. He's King Cohen. He's done nothing.
Why can't the Yankees go get Bellinger?
Well, because they don't need him right now.
No, they don't need him.
Well, because they got the best player in baseball in Judge.
You'd rather Verdugo or Bellinger?
I would rather, honestly, I'd have to see the contract. I like Verdugo.
Yeah.
So
who's a better player, Verdugo or Bellinger?
Who's the more consistent player?
No, who's better?
Well, it depends what you want more. Consistent. I mean,
but you love Bellinger.
Let me give you this, Sal. The upside of Bellinger is higher than Verdugo.
Okay.
Verdugo's more consistent.
All right. So which one would you rather have?
For this year, Verdugo.
Okay, then why are you saying the Mets should go get Cody Bellinger?
Because the Mets don't have a Verdugo playing left field. That's why.
No, they're going to get Juan Soto next year. And I was asking
but next year.
Yeah. He's not a free agent yet.
I understand that.
What do you think's the smarter move? Paying Juan Soto and not giving up anything to get him, or taking a risk trading for a one-year rental, trading 5 players to get him?
Sal, it's a good question. It's a good question. What I deem to be smarter is what the Yankees did, because the Yankees got him in their house so they can establish that relationship. And unlike many others, I don't really value what the Yankees gave up, but that's just my opinion. You can take King, you can take all these guys. 877-337-6666. All right. Nick is in Connecticut. What's going on? Nick, BT, and Sal, how are you today?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the call.
Okay, Nick.
Sal, you were lost, man. Your blind optimism here for Steve Cohen, or stupid King Cohen, as you call him, is just insane. I mean, has it even occurred to you that maybe he's not that charming and people don't want to work for a king? Because the guy, frankly, I've never read one article saying one nice thing about Steve Cohen, and I have no faith in him signing anyone of any caliber to come to this team of any significance. And he's done nothing good. The Mets have done nothing this offseason. And why you think they're going to do anything is just beyond me. And every comeback you have is, what have the Yankees done?
All right, forget about the Yankees.
Forget about the Yankees.
Nick, forget about the
We're
Yankees.
Not
You're right.
About the Yankees.
Nick,
We're talking about the Mets.
Nick, you want to have a conversation or no? Because if you keep yelling, you're going to get hung up on. So let's have a conversation, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
You say King Cohen has not done anything and no players will want to come play for him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Who had the highest payroll in Major League Baseball last year?
Oh my God! Who would the New York Mets? They brought in Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander.
Right. So you've already just ruined your whole argument, because you said Steve Cohen hasn't done anything and that no players will want to come play for him, and then you again said King Cohen has the highest payroll in the sport and he got the top free agents, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, in consecutive years. So you have
And how did those two brilliant signings work out by Mr. King Cohen? The king of the short sale.
Yeah, but
that's not the argument.
Nick, let me help you out because you're missing something. You're not wrong.
Well, he's missing something for sure.
Yeah, but he's not completely right, so I'll fill in the blanks for him. What you're failing to throw back at Sal every time this comes up, yes, the payroll's irrefutably the highest.
Thank you.
It's
just a fact.
You're an idiot if you say otherwise.
Right.
It's a fact.
Right.
I think that what he was trying to say about not wanting to play for Cohen is that those guys didn't have other suitors.
Hold on. Where are you getting that from?
Who was going to give Max Scherzer $40 million?
They didn't have. You think nobody in baseball?
Show me the offer. Who had $40 million for Verlander?
So what you're saying is nobody in baseball outside of the Mets wanted to sign Justin Verlander or Max Scherzer.
No, the Yankees. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for that amount of money. What I'm saying is I know the Yankees had tepid interest in Verlander. I know that. That's a fact. They inquired. They kicked the tires. But to me,
they couldn't afford him.
Well, they didn't want him, and they made the right move because you got rid of him, and they would have had to get rid of him.
Yeah, right. They signed Carlos Rodon. How'd that work out?
Not well, but the point.
Okay. Would you rather Rodon or Verlander?
Probably Rodon. At least I think there's possible upside there.
Lying through
but whatever. That doesn't matter.
Because it does matter.
Okay,
they were both free agents last year.
What's that?
They were both free agents last year. Verlander, Rodon.
Yeah.
The Mets went and got the better of the two.
Okay.
So don't make it like the Yankees made the better. Rodon sucks. You paid him $160 million. Okay, you paid him $160 million for 6 years. Which one was worse, that or Verlander?
They're both empty so far.
Hey, Yankee fans, eat that.
Oh,
eat that.
No, Sal, but you're sitting
Chew
here.
on that for another couple hours.
Yeah, but Sal, you're sitting there saying like Verlander won the Cy Young and he actually led you to October. You traded him.
Verlander was in October with the Astros. Not only did the Mets sign him.
Do they get a little piece of that pennant? They're going to ship that little fabric to Queens?
They paid him.
Here is a piece, 1/1 millionth of a stitch of fabric from the Astros pennant, that they hang in Houston.
No, but
here
what they
you
got
go,
is
Mets.
prospects.
You can hang this because Verlander played for you earlier in the season.
No, but they have prospects for him. They paid him to go away because he had value. Somebody else took him. Who's taking Carlos Rodon right now? What value does he have?
Who?
You getting it? Rodon.
Dude, I'm not going to support Rodon. There's nothing to say.
That's the guy the Yankees chose. So everybody wants to what did King Cohen do with Verlander? What he did was when it wasn't working with the team, he then traded an asset and got assets back.
I understand that, and I give him credit for that, Sal.
Yankees invested $160 million in a worthless Carlos Rodon.
I gave him credit for that. I truly did. Like, all kidding aside, I did.
What was the first call?
I said it was a good move.
Hey, Nick, suck on that.
So, but here's the other thing. All right, and this really is the ultimate point. Forget about Rodon. That's free agency, and it's a dumb move so far. All right? And I will blister him this year like I blistered him last year if I have to. But the notion that, and again, tepid interest aside, that the other guys that the Mets got, that they were lining up like they are for Yamamoto,
right,
and they chose the Mets because of Cohen is laughable. They chose Cohen because he came with a ridiculous, irresponsible dollar amount.
It's not irresponsible.
And that, too, is irrefutable.
He came with the highest offer.
But by far, he was basically begging him to come.
That is just not factually correct.
Says who?
It's just not true.
Where are the other offers that were in the ballpark?
Where are you getting your information from?
I just remember it in real time.
Well, and what in real time?
In real time, nobody wanted them, and nobody was dumb enough to offer $40 million like Cohen was.
Okay. All right, you're right. It was a stupid move. It was a real dumb move. So dumb that he turned that investment into prospects. So I can't even believe he did it. I wish he would have spent $160 million on Carlos Rodon. That's what you're saying is that the better move, because Cohen was so dumb he invested in Verlander.
No, I'm not saying
instead of Carlos Rodon.
No,
because they could have Rodon.
No, I'm saying I don't like the Rodon move.
You're saying that basically Bellinger is the Rodon of this year. Instead of going to get the top guy, you want the Mets to go get the lesser guy. And yet you saw how it worked out with the Yankees. When they didn't go get the top guy, they went and got the lesser guy. The Yankees should have made the investment. They were dumb. Not the Mets. The Yankees were dumb for not getting Verlander. He was the better investment.
All right, so let me boil this. I know we're going to break here. Mm-hmm. Who's had the better offseason so far, the Yankees or the Mets?
Smarter offseason?
The better.
Well, you
the
mean
better.
Splashier?
Whatever word the better. I think the word is better. Who's made their team better?
I think the Mets have made their team better.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they're AAA team. That's who they made better.
You know what?
Maybe double A at this point.
You know what? Those guys are going to be up here.
I hope so, because if not, Sal,
those guys.
It's going to be a tough season, buddy.
The Mets are building a foundation to have a team that can have some sustained success. They obviously need more. They're trying for it with Yamamoto. If the Yankees don't get Yamamoto, I ask you, what have they done? They traded for a one-year rental. And their lineup still has a lot of the guys last year in it that were big problems. Judge, Stanton, LeMahieu, all these guys, same guys.
I get it. Listen, there's flaws. All I know is
Who brought in the better players so far?
Sal,
no doubt the Yankees.
Okay, listen.
Soto, Verdugo were the better players.
No, I got you. I'm sitting here and I'm saying, my team's got a chance to mess around and get to the World Series. You guys look like one of the worst teams in baseball. That's on December 20, whatever. 877-337-6. A little spicy out of the chute.